Well, welcome, Laura. We're so glad to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
And you may notice, we know, you may hear or watch people walking across the background talking, they're chatting. That's because you're listening to this in 2025. We're recording this in 2024, so back in time. Because we are at the GrantSummit conference powered by the Grant Professionals Association. So let's just know that and let's enjoy this section.
Well, Laura is wrapping up her final year on the GPA Board of Directors, so congratulations for that.
Nice. Golf clapping, air clapping.
6 years of service. That's awesome. And for the past 2 years, you've served as the liaison for the Ethics Committee of the GPA. And I know so many people hear that phrase and they think, oh, y'all are the ethics police. Dun,
Dun, dun.
But there's no law and order here. So what I would love today is to hear from you all the great and wonderful work that the Ethics Committee does so people don't have that first impression when they hear that word.
Absolutely. We are definitely not the ethics police. That would be no fun for anyone.
No.
So, technically the committee would have a role in reviewing any formal submitted complaint about an ethics violation by a GPA member. But those are very rare, and mainly our work is to support GPA members with some resources and some camaraderie discussion around all the ethical, sticky ethical situations that you might face, big or small. So the Ethics Committee's work is focused on a couple of different things. So mainly promoting the GPA Code of Ethics, and we do that in a couple of different ways. So one thing that the committee members do is write articles about various ethical considerations, and we publish those quarterly in GPA's Grant News, the weekly e-newsletter.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then also every October is Ethics Month in GPA's world.
Come on down, it's Ethics Month.
That's right. So in Ethics Month, Ethics Committee members
Got it.
write articles, and those 4 articles for the month are published once a week in October as Ethics Month. And then beyond articles, we host group discussions, and so those are called discussion dens. You can learn about those on the GPA website. They are generally quarterly. And
Are they online?
They are virtual,
Okay. Yeah,
except for at GrantSummit.
Sure.
There is one in person during GrantSummit, but normally they are online and they are not recorded. You can keep your camera off. You can change your name if you want to, but you can come
There's
and
no
ask.
judgment.
There's no judgment. You
Oh,
can
and we like the method of, I'm asking for a friend.
Asking for a
friend.
friend.
Yes. You can come and ask questions for your friend on any kind of topic that you might be struggling with or wondering about. Get some guidance on how to handle those sorts of situations. Those are very valuable discussions, and truly, there's no judgment in those conversations. Another committee activity is to monitor Grant Zone conversations. And so Grant Zone, of course, is the online discussion forum for GPA members. And the Ethics Committee loves seeing questions around ethical considerations in Grant Zone. That helps us kind of know what's out there, what's brewing as ethical hot topics these days. And those conversations on Grant Zone might lead to additional resources, like an article focused on that particular issue, or a future discussion den focused on that issue. And committee members have a role in responding to those ethical questions.
Right.
So we try to do that fairly quickly and contribute to those conversations.
I'm loving the online opportunities and in-person opportunities, but maybe for people like me who are like, is there another way? Is there something, is there a takeaway? Is there another tool that I could either take back to my agency or my client for ethical considerations to sort of think about and discuss there? What do you have that you could offer?
Absolutely. We recommend GPA's ethical decision-making model. So that is a fancy title for a document that is on GPA's website, but really, functionally, it's a roadmap to help each of us think through these ethical situations.
Sure.
So that helps us identify all the factors, evaluate the implications, think ahead about what happens if I decide to do A and what happens if I decide to do B, and then kind of measure those outcomes of that ethical decision that you make. So that's been a very helpful tool. Some committee members worked very hard to develop that in recent years. So that, again, is on the GPA website. And then another tool that we have as a reference is GPA's statement on artificial intelligence as it relates to the GPA Code of Ethics. So that too is on the website. There's a statement from GPA as GPA's position on artificial intelligence in grants. And then also there's a statement from the committee as well. So you can read a little bit expanded perspective on that as well. So those are helpful resources that we refer people to.
Nice.
For those of us who prefer to read some guidance and think through
Processing,
it by
no
ourselves.
judgment.
Yeah, processing a little bit. That's very much me. So those are a couple of tools that we have.
Nice.
Fantastic. So, well, thanks for sharing all that. And if people are interested, like this is my kind of committee, what's the timeline for getting involved in this group?
Great question. The call for committee members for any committee that you might be interested in generally happens every November, mid-November or so. And so be on the lookout in GPA's Grant e-News weekly newsletter. That's where you'll learn that information. So call for committee members, and then there will be an opportunity to participate in a webinar to learn more about what it means to be a committee member of any committee member, particularly if you're interested in ethics. That is a great starting point for you. Just for context, the Ethics Committee generally meets about every other month or so, depending on what's going on. So it's not a crazy time commitment of every other week or anything, but it's a really great committee that does valuable work and really has been a fulfilling committee to be involved in.
Nice.
We've met lots of people who have brilliant ideas around how to support each other in ethics. So I'd encourage anybody to get involved if you're interested in that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us and telling us all about the Ethics Committee, which is not the Ethics Police, okay, y'all? It's not.
It isn't. She's
No.
right. Thanks.
Thank you.